Alright, so I'm adding this to the beginning of the video because I forgot to record this in earlier. But basically, once you get all the screws out, you'll see it right after this clip. But anyways, when you lift this up, it's caught on the back here. So what you need to do is run your fingernail or a pry tool along this little crease here, and then you can pop those clips out, okay? So I just forgot to post that bit. Let's see, it's still stuck a little bit. So once you unclip that, it looks like, I think you have to pull on this a little if I remember correctly. It came out a lot easier. Oh, did I forget? No, I got all the screws. Yeah, so once you pull that, okay, I don't know why it popped off so easily the first time when I was trying to show this. So hopefully this bit will be useful because some people might be wondering why they can't get the clips off. And then you kind of need to go underneath the corners here. Let's see, I think I have to use a tool for this. So I can't see what I'm doing, but basically get underneath that section. Okay. Underneath here. Lift this off. It's stuck on here a little bit, so you do need to run a tool underneath there, just like this, okay? And you need to pop this out as well, okay? So this top hinge piece comes separate, and then you have to lift up underneath this area. Alright, so now I'll continue with the rest of the video. Alright, so I'm going to show how to open up and disassemble this MSI laptop. Let's see, I don't know what the exact model number is. This is a gaming G series laptop. They took off the label, but here it says MS-16H7. So yeah, we'll go based on that. Anyways, first what you want to do is get a PH1 screwdriver and remove all the screws from the bottom. You want to keep them in order because they are different sizes and lengths. You don't want to get them all mixed up. But anyways, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alright, so remove all those screws. There's one underneath this sticker, so I counted that one, 15 total. Alright, after that you'll want to get the cover off. This one, I don't know, it's all shaped weird, so it might be more difficult or easier to remove than yours. You can try with a suction cup or with a thin pry tool, but oh, it already came off. So I think I removed it earlier, and then the clips, are there? Oh, there are no clips in here. Okay, so there aren't really any clips except towards the back. So yeah, this cover should come up pretty easily. Just kind of lift the back up and then you can kind of pull the cover off. Okay, so this had a bad battery. So this battery is actually bulging up. They do hold it in place with adhesive, so you will need something to pry it out. I just use this pry tool. Okay, so first we're going to remove the battery. Just lift it up slowly like this. There's adhesive underneath, so you kind of want to work it slowly. Be careful because the cable is connected there. Right, and then after that you can pull this battery. I just grab the wire like this and kind of wiggle it, and it will eventually get yanked out. Right. If you're replacing the battery, keep in mind that the black wires go to the left and then the red wires go to the right, or if you have it facing yourself this way. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. We got a replacement battery here, and then we also got a replacement CMOS battery. I already actually took out the CMOS battery from here. It's underneath the motherboard, so I'll have to show you that. I basically have to take the entire motherboard out of this computer. We're going to go over just some small upgrade things too. So here's the regular hard drive underneath this cable. We are going to have to flip up this latch, pull this cable out, okay, and then you'll want to remove this yellow Kapton tape, flip this latch up, and then you can pull that out as well. Let's pull out the speakers cable. So I just get my fingernails on both sides and then I just wiggle it and it'll pop out like that. Okay. This speaker we will have to move out of the way, I think. Actually, no, not on this one. So we don't have to move that speaker out of the way. But we do have to remove the hard drive. So to remove the hard drive, you can leave this connector on the board. I'm not going to remove that. There's a screw holding it in place, but I'm going to leave that there. But anyways, you just lift the hard drive up like this. Make sure you hold on to this connector so it doesn't get yanked out, and then you kind of just wiggle it and pull it just like that. So this is a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. You can put an SSD in here if you want to upgrade your computer, make it faster. If you need help knowing how to clone this, just send me or post a comment, and I'll post that in the comment section for you guys. Alright, so we are going to disconnect this cable. It is plugged in. I did flip up the latch, and then I'm just grabbing the black plastic part to pull it back. Okay, and it came out just like that. Okay, so we got all the screws. There's several screws in here. You got the, I think this is, yeah, the trackpad cable. So we're going to take that out. Just flip that latch up and then pull this cable out. Try and pull by these plastic tabs. The blue ones, don't pull by the cable itself because they're fragile. Got the keyboard backlight cable here. Flip that latch up. Pull that cable out. Keyboard cable, same thing. Flip it up and then pull that out. Okay. Alright, if I remember correctly, I had to remove this whole board because it's kind of in the way. We are going to disconnect this cable. I think this is, oh yeah, it's that speaker up there. Okay, so let's remove that. Same thing, just grab it, wiggle it, and it pops out. Okay, so we got the one screw here. Again, you don't want to mix up the screws. Try and keep them all in order. They are different sizes and shapes. So set that screw aside. Then we'll lift this up. Okay, you kind of have to lift it slightly at an angle from the back first, and then let the front drop forward. Okay, just like that. This audio cable you just remove by popping it off. Actually, I should do some more close-ups. It's kind of far. But anyways, this cable, you basically just pop it up. I just use my fingernail underneath. You can use a pry tool, plastic, all right? And you just pop it out like that. Okay, I'll set that aside. All right, then we got the one screw here. So this computer actually wasn't turning on, and when I checked, the CMOS battery and stuff was bad, so I'm hoping that that's the cause and not just a symptom of what happened. But basically, take out these screws. They have little marks here telling you what size. It says 2 with a L3. So this is also M2 L3. I don't know how accurate they are because they, okay, those are the same. Yeah, so I think all of these, they're saying M2 L3 next to them, so that's how you know where the screws came from, I guess. So sometimes they don't have that, and then I have to mark it myself. Alright, we're going to take the wireless card out, so move that tape out of the way. Take the screw out. Okay, I think the screw for the wires, yeah, the screw for the wireless card is different. Alright, then I'm going to use the raised part of the wireless card to push it back. Okay, sometimes you have to lift it, the back up slightly, and then you can do that. Alright, so I'm going to leave the wireless, let's see, can I leave these antennas in? I think so. Alright, let's take out the fan cable. So just same thing, just wiggle the connector and it pops out like that. If you're removing the LCD or LVDS connector, I forgot to mention, but after you remove the battery, you want to press and hold the power button for about 10 to 15 seconds to drain any power. This will prevent any damage to the motherboard. Okay, I'm pressing and holding the power button right now. Okay, we should be good. Their battery was completely dead anyways, so yeah. Alright, so this pull tab, just like the other connector, it just pops off, but it's usually difficult to remove. So what I do is that while I'm pulling this slightly, I get underneath the connector and then I pop it up with my fingernail, just like that, okay? Alright, so now let's get the wireless cables out of the way. Alright, we'll get the video cable out of the way. Oh, there's also this cable underneath this label. Oh, sorry, I forgot I'm zoomed in again. Let me zoom back out. Okay, so there's this cable here. I just wiggle it just like the rest of them. Alright, and then set that aside. Okay, just like that. Let's see, I'm not sure what this cable's for. It might be for like the camera or something. Alright, you got another fan cable here. Remove that one as well. Just wiggle it and pull it out. You got the charge port connector here, so same thing, just grab the wire as close as you can to the connector and just wiggle it while you pull and it'll come out just like that. I'm going to leave that in there, but if you want to take it out, there's 2 screws here to remove the charge port. Okay. Alright, so we have to take out this wire for the speaker because it's in the way. Alright, it's threaded underneath all these adhesive things. You have to peel that up. Get that out of the way. Okay, I'm just taking that out so I can move it so it's not on top of the motherboard. Then you got this strip of whatever foam thing here. So peel that up and then undo this latch and pull this cable out. Okay, you can put the foam back on top. Alright, let's see. Did we get all the screws? We might be missing some. It's still stuck to the board. Oh yeah, we have to remove the screws from the fan. Okay, so there's 1 screw underneath this adhesive here. So we'll remove that one. And then we'll remove the other screw from this fan. Okay, so now that we got both fan screws out, I think that's everything. This fan comes up with the whole motherboard. Let's see, I don't think there's any other screws. Okay, so to lift this out, what I do is I grab the heatsink here and the fan, and I kind of pull, I have to pull this part of the metal frame away because it kind of gets caught there, okay? And then kind of lift it. Be careful because you don't want to bend the heatsink. Once you get it up slightly, you can lift from the board area here instead of on the fan, okay? So actually we didn't have to unplug this fan cable. Oh, actually, I guess to undo that wiring over there. Okay. Now just carefully lift the whole board out. Let me zoom out so you can see the whole thing. Oops, too far. There we go. Okay, so just slowly and carefully lift the board up. Make sure you have yourself grounded so that you don't static shock the board. Okay. And then just slowly lift it out. Make sure there's no wires getting caught. And there we go. We got the motherboard out. The keyboard is held in place with melted plastic, so that would be a pain to repair. So I'm not going to do that. If you wanted to remove this cable, same thing. You just pop that out, but I'm going to leave that there. Okay, you got all these heatsink thermal pads and everything. Underneath, oh, I forgot, there's also this heat pad for the SSD. It always, it sticks to the bottom of the keyboard, so sometimes it will peel itself off, sometimes it will stay on the keyboard, but you want to just make sure to put it back on, okay? Okay, keep that in place. So this is a M.2, I believe that's a PCIe NVMe SSD, so if you want, you can upgrade that. Just take the screw out. Pull it slightly up and then pull it back. Alright, underneath this metal plate, there's the RAM. Okay, so you just lift it off like that. 2 sticks of RAM, you just push these 2 tabs to the side, just like this, okay? And the RAM will pop up. When it's popped up, you just pull it out. This is 8 gigs PC4 2133P. Okay, so you want to replace with the same type, so it has to be PC4 2133P. Sometimes you can upgrade it and put different speeds and things, but unless you want to risk having to take it all apart again and redo it because it's not compatible, I wouldn't risk it. Okay, so the CMOS battery, when you get a replacement, because I couldn't find an exact replacement, we found this that looks, it's basically the same thing, also 3 volts. Just make sure the plugs are in the right spot, so make sure the red wire is going to the same side and the black wire is going to the same side, okay? Alright, so we're going to plug this in. I should probably mark it like the other one. They put some black marker on there so you know which side is up and which side's down. So it plugged in pretty easily. Just squeeze it in place. Yeah, I took it out earlier and I left it out. So I'm going to mark this one just so you know. Okay. Alright, and this one also has a little adhesive thing so it doesn't rattle around inside. So let's put that back on. Be careful if you're setting this on top. You don't want to damage the wires underneath. Alright, let's peel off this adhesive foam tape. Okay, so remove that, and then we're going to stick it back where the other one was. It was right in this area here. Okay, it does have extra slack here, but that should be okay. It shouldn't be a problem. Okay, make sure it sticks down. Okay, there we go. So we got the new battery there. Now we got to put it all back together. So the only tricky part is making sure all of these cables are out of the way. But yeah, oh, don't forget this metal cover that we took off. I need to put that back on. Okay, so the metal cover, just line it up. Okay, line it up with those little clamps. There we go. Make sure all the way around is lined up, and then push it down. There we go. All right, flip the board back over, and let's put it back in. There's some dust here, so I'm going to clean it a little. It's not too much, but might as well while it's open. Okay, I thought I did this the last time I took it apart, but I guess not. Okay, there we go. All right, let's put the board back in, get the cables out of the way. You have to put this side in first. All right. Again, the hardest part is just making sure all of the cables are out of the way and on top of the board. So hold those all out of the way. Slowly drop it in. All right. Just like that. Make sure that it's going in the right spots. Get all of these other cables out of the way. Oh, the RAM slot cover fell out, so I need to make sure that goes back in. Why is it so loose there? Okay. Alright, let's do this again. Get all the wires out of the way. Okay. Make sure that the USB-C port is going in properly. All these wires out of the way. Okay, don't forget the wire back here. It's kind of hard to grab that. Let me do that first, actually. Okay, get that wire out of the way. Get all of these wires out of the way. Put it down. Make sure that wire's out of the way. Make sure all of these wires are going into the same spot. Okay. Alright, make sure that wire's out of the way. Alright, so drop it in. Make sure everything is lined up properly. Okay, everything looks okay. Make sure the wireless antennas aren't caught underneath the board and the screw mount. Okay, you don't want to accidentally smash that. Okay, looks like everything is in place. Now let's start putting back screws. So we'll get the two fan screws here. One underneath this adhesive. Alright, get the second one here. Alright, don't forget this audio board, so I'm going to plug that in first. Alright, make sure it's lined up. It's a little dirty, let me clean this too. Okay, let's plug this audio board back in. I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to look over top to get a better view. There we go. Okay, and then you want to put the USB ports and the headphone jack side down first. Make sure the headphone jacks go into the proper holes, and then drop it in place, just like that. Get the screw, put that back in. Right, speaker cable, make sure it goes back underneath these adhesive things. Okay, just like that, underneath the fan cable, but on top of the DC jack charging cable. Let's plug the fan in. Okay, just like that. Get this cable underneath the tape and plug this back in. Just like that. Okay, charge port, line it up, push it in, wiggle it, there we go. Alright, tighten that down. This other screw, tighten that down. Alright, last board screw, tighten it down. Alright, now let's plug in all these cables. Keyboard, make sure the keyboard connector is clean, not covered with dust or dirt. Line it up, plug it in, push it down. Same thing with this one. Line it up, plug it in, push it down. Same thing with this one. Line it up, plug it in, latch it down, grab the hard drive, put the hard drive back in, okay, plug it in, let it drop, okay, go, let's plug in the hard drive cable. This one's a little tricky because there's not much slack to move it around. Use my screwdriver to lift up the tab, grab the tab, pull it back, right, and go, get that in place, latch it down. Alright, let's plug this one back in, plug that back in, let's plug this cable back in. There we go. Okay, we got everything it looks like. We just need to put the wireless card and all these other cables. So let's plug this cable back in. Again, I think this is for the webcam and stuff, but I'm not 100% sure. Pull that cable in. Alright, then we got the LCD or LVDS cable. You might want to get the adhesives to go over the cables. Okay. Let's get the LCD or LVDS connector in. Alright, line it up. There we go. Press it in place, make sure it clicks in all the way. If you don't have this on right and you turn on the computer, you will fry something and your computer will probably stop working. Okay, so that's very important. Wireless cables, get them underneath as well. Okay, you can put the tape back down, put the fan connector back in. Wireless card, make sure it goes underneath these things of adhesive. Not that it needs to be underneath those things, but alright. Line up the wireless card. Oops. Make sure you get it in the slot, not underneath the motherboard. Okay. Just like that. There we go. Put the tape back down. Alright, so we're good to go. We just need the battery in place. Again, make sure the cables are on the right side, black cables on the left, red ones on the right. Let's plug this cable back in. If you're wondering, the battery model number, at least from the original one, let's see here, is there a model number on here? Oh, model name BTY-M6F. So the model number, I don't know if you can read it. It's probably really glary, But yeah, that's the model number. Okay. Make sure you get the right one. Let's wiggle this cable back in place. Okay. I don't know if it's not supposed to plug completely all the way and then you have to bend the cables like how they did it with the old one. I don't know why they made the cables so long, but as you can see on this one, they also kind of just bent all the cables up. Alright. Oh, oops, I forgot this cable. Oh, I thought I got that. Oh my god. I have to take all the stuff back out again. This is what happened. I think I did this last time. I made sure to pull that cable up because I knew it was gonna get stuck. Oh man. Okay, let me see if I can pull that cable up without completely taking everything out. So right now I'm gonna just take out the motherboard screws. Okay, what did I? Out all the motherboard screws. I might have, let me see if I turn the computer over around, if I can get it from this side. It's probably off the camera, but let's see. Can I lift this up? Come on. I can slightly lift it up. Let's see. Is that enough to pull that out though? Okay, let's use my little pick tool if I can get it. Right, sorry about that. Someone called and it turned off my recording. Let's see if we can get this cable out or if I'm gonna have to take everything back out. I hope not. Well, I think I will have to. Actually, I can probably lift this speaker out and then... Can I reach it this way? Nope. Okay, let's try with a little pick. No, I'm gonna have to take the whole thing out, or at least a bit of it. I'm gonna take out the DC jack cable so I can lift it a little higher. What else do I need to take out to lift this higher? That's probably good enough. Alright. This was the one I was worried about. I made sure to get it out, and I guess it fell underneath by itself. Okay. Get this cable out. There we go. Perfect. Put the cables back, the speaker back in place. Plug the DC jack back in place. Alright, double check again all the wires. Let's get this thing out of the way. Plug this cable in. Go. Hopefully you're able to see everything. I don't know if I zoomed in or out and it was in the way. Okay, all these cables are plugged in. Battery cable is good. Let's put back the screws that I took back out. Make sure everything's lined up properly since we moved it. These screw mounts seem to be slightly wrong, so I need to lift it probably and push it over a little bit. Okay. Hopefully everything is lined up right. Actually, that's as far as it will go, so I guess that's right. Alright, put back the screws. Go. Put back the fan screws. And the last fan screw underneath this cable. Since I have the battery in, I need to be careful, extra careful. Okay, there we go. All the screws are in. Let's push this and make the wires go out of the way. Alright, drop that in. There we go. It holds itself in place just like that. If you want, you can peel off these little rubber things and stick them on the new battery. I don't know if they'll actually stick. You might need some new adhesive. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need some new adhesive. So there we go. We get some new double stick tape. Oh no. Okay. Go. Stick this on the bottom. This, and then we'll stick it right there. Get the other one. I think I actually stuck the adhesive on the wrong side, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. Get that out, and then we'll stick that also right here. There we go. Alright, so we'll set this aside. Put the cover back on and hopefully it works. So everything's in place, right? All the cables, okay, everything looks good. Put this cover back on. I'm gonna put just a few of the screws back in. So I'll put these corner ones, these are a little bit shorter. Alright, so I'm just going to put the corner screws in. Go, grab the other corner screws. So these ones are like doubled up. Those are the ones I'm putting back. The rest I'll leave out for now, just to test and see if it works, because if it doesn't work, then I have to take everything back out, and that's going to be a pain. Okay, I hope it works. Alright, let's see what happens. You might have to plug it in. You can squeeze this to pop all the clips back in place. Okay. You might have to actually also push this down as you squeeze that to get it in place properly. There we go. Okay. Alright, let's open it up and see if it even turns on. The light's on, that's a good sign. But is the screen going to come on? Or is it just going to shut itself back off like it did before? Come on. It's staying on a lot longer than before. Before it wouldn't stay on like this. That's a good sign, but the screen's not coming up. It could be because the BIOS was reset, or it could be the RAM or something is loose. I might have to take it out and check the RAM. But anyways, that's all there is to this. To replace the battery, take out the CMOS battery and everything. So, oh, it's turning on. We're good to go. So hopefully this video helped you. If it did, please like and subscribe, because that'll help others find this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. So I think right now it's resetting. The BIOS got reset because the CMOS battery was removed. So it keeps restarting itself on the MSI screen. It's booting up, I think, trying to detect the hard drives. So yeah. Again, oh, it's booting Windows now. Alright. So, yeah, looks like it's good. Hopefully it will charge okay. But again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Help others find my videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Alright, bye.